Battle Report, Swinton engagement filed by Onyx Phantom Commando, Unit 47 Delta Date, 22nd to 23rd Earth Cycle, Solar Rotation 2025 Subject. Initial assault and tactical evaluation. The Swinton engagement commenced under adverse environmental conditions, with torrential precipitation and low visibility. Our reconnaissance had confirmed the Earth Resistance Force was composed of approximately 100 remaining combatants, significantly diminished due to attrition. Despite this, their defensive position, a makeshift fortress of stone and debris, provided strategic cover, allowing them to form a last stand. Our vanguard, composed of standard Zathair infantry supported by Onyx Phantom commanders, advanced in disciplined formation. Tactical scans indicated the enemy had limited ammunition and makeshift defenses, yet their cohesion and firepower remained unexpectedly formidable. As our first wave surged forward, resistance forces opened with concentrated projectile fire, inflicting moderate casualties on the front line. The crude yet effective explosives employed by the humans disrupted our formations. Several Onyx Phantom officers reported interference from sniper fire, particularly from a combatant later identified as Private Jenna Woods. I personally led the charge on the southern flank, where enemy forces were weakest. Utilizing the standard Zathair assault phalanx, we engaged the resistance at close quarters. Enemy leader Corporal David Hastings directed defensive maneuvers with calculated precision, delaying our advance through layered resistance pockets. The battle extended into nightfall, at which point the humans withdrew into deeper fortifications. Given our superior numbers, the decision was made to temporarily disengage and reassess. The enemy's willpower, while irrational in the face of our technological superiority, proved more tenacious than anticipated. Our forces held the perimeter, awaiting the dawn to resume the assault. Phase 2. Counteroffensive and command engagement. At first light, the second assault commenced. Enemy numbers had not significantly decreased overnight. Instead, they had reinforced their positions with improvised barriers and strategically placed explosive traps. Their tactics, though primitive, were effective in slowing our approach. We initiated a multi-pronged attack, coordinating flanking maneuvers with heavy shield formations designed to withstand incoming fire. The resistance fired upon our ranks with disciplined coordination, maximizing their defensive advantage. However, our armored advance proceeded with minimal delay, and our lines pressed forward. Despite our superior positioning, the humans displayed a heightened level of resolve. They had fashioned barbed wire barriers and had fortified key access points with a mixture of scavenged ordnance. These obstacles created deadly choke points, delaying our entry and forcing us to reassess our routes of attack. I engaged in direct combat with enemy combatants near the primary barricade, neutralizing several resistance fighters in melee engagements. The proximity of battle was intense, with the sound of metal clashing against stone and the sharp retort of human weaponry echoing through the ruined compound. At mid-morning, I identified Corporal Hastings engaging one of our command officers. The human displayed remarkable adaptability in combat, utilizing both ranged and melee tactics. His aggression, while commendable, should have resulted in his termination. However, he exploited a minor vulnerability in the commander's armor, delivering a fatal strike. This marked a significant morale shift among the humans, galvanizing their efforts further. The loss of our commander caused a ripple effect throughout our ranks. While a temporary setback, it provided the enemy with a much-needed psychological advantage. Even as our numbers remained superior, their counteroffensive regained momentum. The humans, despite their reduced numbers, maneuvered with surprising agility, making use of the rubble and trenches as natural defensive cover. The battle raged for hours, with neither side yielding ground easily. Reinforcements were delayed due to environmental conditions, forcing our unit to sustain prolonged engagement beyond initial estimations. Every advance was met with staunch resistance, and the enemy's use of flanking countermeasures forced us to adapt repeatedly in real time. As dusk approached, our unit prepared for the final push. We launched coordinated heavy assaults, focusing fire on weak points in the enemy barricades. The defenses began to crumble under sustained pressure, yet the humans fought with unrelenting determination. I personally witnessed Sergeant Lewis Hayes, despite suffering critical injuries, continue issuing commands and rallying his unit with relentless fervor. Final clash. Turning point and strategic withdrawal. As the final wave of combat reached its apex, I engaged Corporal Hastings directly. His combat proficiency had grown evident throughout the engagement, and I recognized that his elimination would be a key factor in breaking the enemy's resolve. The duel was fierce, with both of us exchanging precise strikes and counters. Hastings displayed an advanced understanding of close-quarters combat, anticipating my movements with alarming accuracy. Our battle raged amidst the chaos of the greater engagement, with both sides sustaining heavy losses. Despite my superior training and combat experience, the human's unwavering resolve gave him a distinct edge. He exploited an opening beneath my left shield arm, driving a blade into the seam of my armor. Wounded, I was forced to disengage as additional resistance fighters swarmed our position. The loss of another commanding figure once again shifted the balance, emboldening the human forces to push back against our ranks with newfound determination. Our forces, now at risk of being overextended, received orders to fall back and regroup. Analysis and recommendations. Enemy resilience. The human resistance at Swinton displayed an extraordinary level of tenacity despite overwhelming odds. Their ability to leverage terrain and guerrilla tactics necessitates reevaluation of standard Zathair assault doctrine. Tactical adaptation. Corporal Hastings and his unit demonstrated an understanding of our combat strategies, suggesting prior engagements have granted them familiarity with our maneuvers. Countermeasures must be developed to address their growing adaptability. Operational adjustments. Future engagements should incorporate additional aerial reconnaissance to counteract human defensive ingenuity. Furthermore, the elimination of key leadership figures at an earlier stage of combat will be prioritized to disrupt enemy cohesion. Final assessment. While the battle did not conclude with absolute Zathair control, it served as a crucial intelligence-gathering operation. The humans remain defiant, but their defeat is inevitable. The loss at Swinton is a temporary setback, not a failure. Preparations for the next engagement are already underway. Our analysis indicates that sustained conflict will eventually erode their capacity for resistance. However, given the unexpected difficulties faced in this engagement, further study of human psychological and tactical methodologies is advised. The war for Earth continues. Victory remains within reach. End transmission.